Hope you get some pictures. Find your way back. I left some breadcrumbs.
Okay, we ready? Everybody ready? No, you want to stay cold for? Okay. All right, guys. I am Anthony Farnell, Chief Meteorologist over at Global News, and I've been helping out with the Bargains Group, with Engage and Change, and Project Water in the summer for I think 13 or 14 years now. So I've been doing this. I know a lot of the volunteers have been helping out for years and years. This is an amazing foundation, and we're going to find out a little bit more about it. And of course, this is very timely this year. If anybody's been outside for more than a couple of minutes, you know how frigid the temperature is. We had a wind chill of minus 34 this morning, and that type of cold, even if you're dressed in state-of-the-art gear, parkas, gloves, it cuts right through you. Now imagine being out there for hours at a time, and that is a problem across this city, even with the warming shelters that have been open during the pandemic, and because of the extreme cold that the City of Toronto has issued and opened more shelters, there's still such a problem, and that's where these kits all come in. And we'll find out a little bit more about that coming up. But thank you all for being here, and I know this story with the snow coming and all that, it couldn't be a better timing that we get this out to the agencies and to the streets as soon as possible. So to tell a little bit more, I've got a lot of guests here. First, we're going to start with Jody Steinhauer. She's the charity founder and president of Bargains Group. Jody?
Thank you, everybody, for coming out on this cold day to help us share the story and really talk about why we're doing this and why we shouldn't be doing this. I firstly want to thank my board, who is just volunteers. It's a bunch of concerned business people who've come together and committed for many, many years, who are making this happen. I couldn't do it without any of them. Also for the incredible partners and sponsors you're going to meet today. You know, we're very fortunate that a lot of the stuff gets donated, but if it wasn't for incredible partnerships between donors, media, people in the public helping donate, trucking companies, it all is a really collaborative project. And during COVID, it's made it 10 times harder for us to do what we have to do, but the commitment to who we're serving has not lessened. This year, over 18,000 kits were requested to give you an idea of the numbers of what's going on. And we're really proud that we're giving out 3,000 survival kits, so that's going to be in the hands of agencies in minutes. And you're going to see these red backpacks everywhere. But every year I say this, we don't want to be doing this. The solution is long-term housing and supportive services. And we do not want to be packing these kits next year, but we will be here for as long as there's a problem. So everybody come rally around engageandchange.org and help us help the homeless. And thank you to all of you, and you're going to hear from some pretty incredible partners who are going to really tell you why this is needed and why this is so wrong.
Thanks, Jody. We're going to hear next from Staff Sergeant John Stockfish, 13 Division Community Response Unit.
Good morning, and thank you. Just want to say we're very honored and privileged to be involved with the Engage and Change. We've been involved for a number of years now. I can attest to the fact that we really see the need and necessity, just the basic necessities of life that people are really, struggling through this day and age for a multitude of reasons. And, getting those basic necessities and, we see the demand and we see the effects on the street. So we're very humbled and very honored to be a part of this. I know we've helped with the assembly and the distribution over a number of years. We will continue to do that. And, obviously, like today that was mentioned, the harsh elements, and it makes it even that much more challenging for our people that don't have homes, that are suffering. And we just want to be able to have an opportunity to help and contribute in any way, shape, or form. So I want to thank Jody, Engage and Change, and all the partners and all the volunteers, including my teams that have been involved with this. So thank you.
Thanks, John. Coming up next, we're going through this. I like it. It's to the point. Scott Mills. Scott is a 20-year champion of homelessness. He's a special advisor to Engage and Change, and he's also a board member of Invisible People. So let's hear from Scott next.
Thanks. If you don't mind, I'm just going to take this off so I can project a little bit. Maybe not. I'll just leave it on. Thank you all for being here today. Me looking out from this microphone for you, what you're not seeing is that there are a number of people out here who are doing absolutely phenomenal work, including our Toronto Police Service. I'm a retired Toronto Police Service member, very proud of that. And I can tell you that the things that you see in the news about homeless encampments and things like that, that's what you see in the news. What you see on the streets is a lot of caring Toronto police officers and police officers throughout our province and our country. They very much care. They're here today helping. Thank you very much for that, and I wanted to bring awareness to that. The other piece that I wanted to bring awareness to is I'm wearing this shirt. It says Invisible People. There's a mural on the side of the Bargains Group here called Invisible People. The man that started this organization, his name is Mark Horvath. He now has 1 million subscribers on his YouTube account, changing the face of homelessness. And if any call to action can be made today from Engage in Change or Invisible People or anybody in the room here, is we want to change the face of homelessness. We want people to know that there's real people out here today when it's -20 in Toronto that are sleeping under bridges. And if you go on Twitter and you follow the hashtag #HomelessJoe, you will see the story of a man that we've told, and numerous people in this room and others that we don't even know have helped them. Hashtag #HomelessJoe. He's sleeping under a bridge. That's his home. Mental health is an absolute huge barrier to getting housing. We've had Homeless Joe in 3 different houses, but due to mental health challenges, he leaves. He sleeps on the street. So what can we do? If we're sitting out there watching on a live stream, we see this on TV, what can we do? Just do something little. Reach out and say hi. If you see somebody that's homeless on the street, instead of turning the other way, say hi. Give them some hope. A very small act of kindness. Everybody do their part. They don't want to be on the street. That's a myth. People don't want to live on the street. And we can do kindness. If we're a teacher out there, or in an educational institution, or a church, or any type of outreach, go on YouTube and type in Invisible People. There's 1 million subscribers following the face of homelessness. It's extremely hard to get a homeless person to stand in front of a microphone. So I somewhat feel like a bit of a voice for Homeless Joe today. And the COVID situation makes it even worse because a lot of people that are out there living under the bridge are not vaccinated. In fact, when I talked to Homeless Joe last week, he told me that he knew something was up because there was a lineup at the grocery store. And just think about that for a minute. I know something's up because there's a lineup at the grocery store. So just everybody, when they leave this room, if you can feel empowered to go out and do just a little bit to help people that are experiencing homelessness. And these 3,000 kits that are being distributed through over 200 social service agencies in the Greater Toronto Hamilton area and beyond. If you see these red backpacks on the street, know they came from Engage and Change. There's a donate button on the website, engageandchange.org. Thank you very much for having me today, and thank you everybody for doing your part.
Thank you very much, Scott. Next up, Tracy Murdoch, Director of Housing and Homelessness, Wood Green Community Services.
Thank you everybody for coming, and at Wood Green we help thousands of people every year, and we give out approximately 200 of these winter survival kits, and we actually give out the summer survival kits too. And I agree with Jody. I wish, sorry if I'm gonna cry, I wish we could get rid of homelessness. When I look at, we have Tent City clients that have been on our caseloads for 30 years. That was the main Tent City that we took out of Cherry Street. We're still doing the same thing today. We're still seeing homelessness. I have not seen the homelessness rate where it is now since the 80s. People are overdosing. People are dying. I helped a fella. I was leaving work yesterday. Me and my manager. He's freezing cold. He's covered in blood. We gave him one of the backpacks. We gave him some money. We gave him some food. But that's not helping him. He needs help. We need supportive housing. We need to build housing. We need affordable housing. There are thousands of vacant units here in Toronto. If we could build affordable housing or take over those, work with not-for-profits to actually get people into housing, give them the supports that they need so that they can actually stay and be successful. At Wood Green, we strive to empower people so that they don't need us. I don't want to be here next year just like Jody. I want to be helping people so that they can help themselves. And that's really where we need to be. We have seen about 150% increase in our food banks. Every week, the police come and help us deliver the food. I'm seeing people now who are in the middle class. People have no money. People can't afford rent. The City of Toronto is now, instead of doing rent bank loans, they're grants because people can't afford their rent anymore. You leave a housing and you come back to rent again, you're talking $2,000 for a bachelor unit. Who can afford $2,000 when you get $1,200 and $600 of it for your shelter? It's ridiculous and it's not acceptable, and we really do need to engage in change. Thank you.
All right, next up we're going to hear from one of the big sponsors, Fortigo Freight. This is Ted Brown. He's Vice President of Operations there.
Thank you, Anthony. After the remarks we just heard, it's a bit difficult to know where to take this, but I'll simply say we're humbled at Fortigo to play just a small part in this overall process. And as long as you do need us, unfortunate as the need is, we'll continue to answer the call. We're in the supply chain business, and some of you, maybe all of you, have heard all the stories in the news about supply chain backlog and bottlenecks and supply shortages and all kinds of stuff. I can tell you it's real. It's out there every day. We've never seen anything like it where so many different circumstances have gathered at the same time and caused some of the constraints that are out there. But we've got a fine team that we have that work hard every day to minimize the impact of that on our customers and our customers' customers, and all of us, the end consumer. But we're also very much about trying to do our part, small as it might be, in the community, and it's a very big part of who we are. And I can tell you of our supply chain challenges, there might be nothing more satisfying than playing a small role in this, as I talked about, where the crucial delivery of the right items to the right people at the right time will happen, and there couldn't be a better time than this week as it was. So I'll just kind of leave it at that, and tip my cap to everybody that does this so well and so often, and make such a big difference for people who need it so bad. And encourage everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay warm. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Before we wrap things up, I just want to show you, this is the kit. There are about 27 items in there this year. We've added certain things. Sleeping bags have always been a mainstay, but also we're talking gloves, we're talking scarf, we're talking things to keep homeless entertained. Also, the simple things like a pad of paper and pen, wipes. We don't even realize COVID protection in shelters is almost non-existent. So if people on the streets or people that are entering shelters even for a short period of time can get some Lysol wipes or clean masks that they haven't been wearing maybe for a month or so, these are vital things. So each of these kits, about $70 is what it costs to put them together. They're valued at about $120, but of course donations are only going so far. So anything you can do to help, engageinchange.org. And there are about 3,000 of these kits going out to agencies this year, but about 15,000 have been requested. So nowhere near the amount that are needed. And this is something that, I've been doing for 13, 14 years. Jody's been doing it for 23 years. And it's just been an incredible organization. But the last thing I'm going to say is that there's just more need than ever because of COVID, and you've heard some of these incredible stories. So thank you all for reporting this story and tying it into maybe the cold that's outside, and knowing that it's going to be a long winter for all of us, and just imagine how hard and troubling it'll be for those less fortunate. So thank you all for coming out here today. And if you want a picture with all of us, we can all kind of stand around.
These are the kits here, the backpacks, and there's a bunch of cars coming out here, and they're being loaded up from the social service agencies. And we really hope that everybody out there can do their part. And if you care to make a donation to Engage and Change, it's a registered charity here in Canada, and their website is engageandchange.ca. Sorry, it might be org. Engageandchange.org. Should get my facts straight. Anyway, thank you very much from Toronto, Ontario.